Hashtag system free tarot. So I'm very excited that Natalia is back, um, recording videos. And I have a bunch of videos in the can waiting to be created. Um, but I had to set them aside because I did want to participate in a hashtag right away, which is this hashtag system free tarot. At first, when I watched Natalia's video, I thought, I don't know, do I have system free tarot? Well, here's what I discovered. I went to my shelf where I keep my tarot and oracle decks, and it turns out that I only own three full on um, system, like clones, what I consider to be clones of a major system. What I'm trying to say that it turns out that the vast majority of my tarot deck collection are tarot decks that are called tarot decks, but I do not read them according to any system. To me, they have their own system, their own language. I read their imagery, and I literally ignore the titles for the most part. Or I'll look at the title and go, I don't know, it's a bit. I find that these decks that I'm going to present to you today, that the tarot, most of the ones I'm going to present today, that any kind of tarot description, like, placing them in a tarot structure, is probably a little contrived. But I see that most people, like there's two camps, right? There's the people who love like tarot, strictly tarot. There's the people who love oracle. Then there's like in the middle, there are those people who like a little bit of both. I tend to own far more many oracle decks. I gel with more oracle decks than I do tarot, which is evident by the fact that the tarot decks that I did invest in, that I did buy, and I love every one of them, have their own system, according to me. And this is the caveat. So if you watched Natalia videos, or if you watch Natalia's video, sorry, English, hashtag system free tarot. She, it's what's system free to you because you're the person using this tool, right? So now I'm going to show you tarot decks, and you might be looking at me going, "What are you high? Like those are that Rider-Waite clone, Marseille clone, Thoth clone, whatever combination." First of all, if there's a combination already, it's not. It's its own system. If it takes from different systems and it makes its own, it creates its own entity, it's its own system. So already there, being able to just pick out elements for me. Oh, this is kind of Rider-Waite. This is kind of, it's its own system. I'm going to begin with one that I don't love yet. I'm not even sure if I like it. Where did I put it? Oh my God. I don't get it. So I have a C. Another, like I said, the vast majority of my tarot collection is what I consider to be hashtag system free. I'll start with this guy. I just got this Circle of Life Tarot. When I first saw Circle of Life Tarot, I just stumbled upon it on Amazon Canada. It had 2-star review. It was trashed. It was a previous edition to this one. Completely trashed on Amazon Canada. And I'm thinking, like, what the heck, man? Like, what's wrong with it? So I looked it up online, and the video I came across was Veronica Jude's on her round decks, and this I think was one of the ones she featured, or I had watched her round decks video, and because I saw her video on this one. This is the Circle of Life Tarot. The artist, creator, this is like published by Lo Scarabeo. Artwork by Maria Di Stefano. Here's the thing, I'm going to feature, I have a couple of Lo Scarabeo decks that I'm featuring today. Lo Scarabeo, they're notorious for taking 78 images, slapping them together, and calling it a tarot deck. And usually I'm looking at Lo Scarabeo, thinking, I see what you're doing there. Doesn't work. No, it doesn't. But if you find one that appeals to you, it's his own system. So this is supposed to be based on Rider-Waite. The little book, the English translation is bad, people, really bad. But even the Italian portion of the little guidebook, for me, this is contrived. Okay, this is the moon card. Well, yeah, there's the moon, and there's moon phases, and what I love about it is that the moon phases is southern hemisphere, so that's nice for a change. Also, if you live in the southern hemisphere, look, a deck, an affordable mass market deck with your moon, the way you see the moon phases. This does follow some elements, Rider-Waite or like tarot system. Like some images are obvious, like, the Eight of Pentacles, but even so, I see this as, because there's two figures in here. This is Fae. This is some other world. This deck does not connect for me at all as a tarot. Like, I can't read this. I can't throw these cards down and have, like, a different scenery of Rider-Waite. These are their own thing. And there's so much going on in this images. Look at this, is the Three of Cups. This is like no Three of Cups in Rider-Waite. Not at all, right? These creatures are weird, man. They're totally weird. This is, I don't understand Circle of Life as a title for this deck. I don't know. And like, this is the Five of Cups. It's a starfish. The little starfishies in the cups. This is weird, and it is not Rider-Waite. Here we have Six of Cups with some freaky creature. I knew this going in when I got this deck, that it wasn't going to be a straight tarot deck. I wanted it because of the freaky images. It's very Fae. I like to, a form of relaxation for me is to spend time in, like, weird worlds like this one. So for me, it's an interesting deck, but it is not. It does not have a system. This is just a bunch of Maria Di Stefano's art contrived to be a tarot deck. I don't know. I like it. I don't know if I love it yet. I just got it. I don't know. I need to work with it to form an opinion. And when I have worked with it, and I have something more to contribute, something more to say about it, then I will talk about it then. But for right now, it's the first one I'm presenting today. System Free Tarot. I'm going to try to, pick up the pace a little bit. But I already can tell you it's going to be a long one. I have my coffee. Hope you have yours. Or whatever it is that you like to drink. Yeah, I'm bruised. That happened at work. I don't even know how. Anyway. Next one. So now I'm just going to go from left to right. Oh, no, I'll stay with let's stay with Lo Scarabeo. My next Lo Scarabeo deck that I find is completely system free. It's, again, contrived to fit Rider-Waite, but it does not. Maybe one or two cards hit. The rest of them you have to really bend your mind to make them hit. And it's Tarot of the Secret Forest. I love this freaking deck. This is the one that is like, color on this side, these very muted earth tones on this side, and black and white sketches that are not exactly, they appear to be, let's say, the original sketches of these paintings, but by the time they became paintings, something changed from here to here, which already is an interesting concept. I can't I can't even. But, okay, so this moth-like thing, Ace of Swords. Okay. But then you have, like, you know, your Two of Wands is an owl, this tree. The artwork is compelling. I fall into this is a deck where I fall into this world. But this, to me, does not follow a system. It may have some elements in it and the majors that correspond, that, you know, allude, like this one, it alludes to the world card and Rider-Waite. Like I said, it may have images that may connect to, but very few, very few. This is its own thing. Literally, when I read this deck, first of all, when I pull out this deck, I fall into it. This is excellent if you're looking for a deck to meditate, deck to you want to journey to another world. Like if you're into that thing, which I totally am, because I always have been. That's my life. These are just great for that. I just fall into them. Every time I've shown these on my channel, I've had difficulty staying focused on recording my video because I fall right into these images. Here's Six of Cups. Six of Cups is the nostalgia card, childhood, and all that stuff. And this card is totally evocative of that. There's that gate, and there's that dog. The dog looks a little old. It's almost like, you know, you could read this as this is your dog calling you to let's go through the gate together. It's like, yeah. Anyway. So this is its own thing. All right, I need to stuff it up, people, and that is the Tarot of the Secret Forest. I think I have one more Scarabeo deck. Yes. Where is that beauty? Oh, here it is. This one here. This one right here. John Bauer. Lots of people love this deck. I read this. I find myself not even looking at the titles and the suits. I find myself just looking at the images. It's its own thing. It has its own language. It's its own system. Scarabeo slapped these titles and suits on them. Some of them hit, some of them don't. For the most part, for me, they don't. But this is an incredible deck. And the only reason I haven't modified it yet is, to be honest, I'm kind of off the modifying thing. I'm not feeling like doing it. For me, part of the working on a deck, modifying it, is the actual creative process, right? And I'm just not feeling it lately, so I'm just leaving. So I have, this is one deck that when I do feel it, I'm gonna modify. I'm gonna take the tops and bottoms off. But the only reason I haven't done it yet is because I really love the backs. So I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. This is a deck that I've been thinking of just making it borderless because I don't read it with the tops and bottoms. But I'm not sure. The reason I'm not sure is that sometimes, see, I'm not a border hater. Some decks I feel need the border for me. So yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet. So now I'm going to slip into a different place. Or now I'm just going to go left to right. So we did Lo Scarabeo. So now I'm going to go left to right. For me, this Motherpeace. Motherpeace for me is system free. Completely. There's, this is, mine is still in order because I was doing something with it. Motherpeace is system free. I did a video on Motherpeace. The Motherpeace has always been problematic. Not so much the deck. The deck I appreciate because the first feminist first multicultural feminist deck ever. And I think it was the first round deck ever. It was groundbreaking. Still is. But I'm not going to go into that here. What I'm going to go into here is the fact that this one is its own system. So even though I look at the titles on the bottom, the images, you know, it's its own thing. There's some images that will call, like the hanged one calls to Rider Waite, Marseille. You know, the majors may call to a system, but when you actually throw these cards down and you look at the images, it speaks its own language, and that's what I'm presenting today. So I'm going to stop justifying and just going to show you my decks. The next one, oh my god, I love this deck. Daughters of the Moon. Oh, I'm obsessed with this one. This one too is its own. This is its own system altogether. This doesn't follow any system. Sorry, nudity alert and all that stuff. These videos are not for children, so whatever. So, beautiful. This is incredible. I love this deck. And to me, it falls under system free. I do not read this as Rider Waite at all, or any other of the two, or any of the three systems. The next deck, I find that this one is a little bit on the fence. This one, when I first got it, I trimmed the borders off because I just couldn't read it as a tarot. Then I was reading it just from the images, and then I was able to see where the tarot structure. I didn't reorder them. I just made them, I just wrote the titles back on. But at the same time, these do speak their own language. They don't fall. I can't pull these out and do a Rider Waite reading, is what I call. These are not. I don't pull these out for reading for other people, and that's what most of these decks have in common. All of these decks have in common is that I use them just for myself. And this is, Tarot the She. This is my borderless one that I cut. I have another one where I kept the top and bottom. These I had originally cut all the titles off, and then I went back and I relabeled them. I still don't look at them. I still read these straight images, energy, color. So this to me falls under Maker 5. This to me falls under systemless, system free, but some will argue that it follows Rider Waite. It can, like, you put down the card, and like this is Maker 4, which is the Four of Pentacles, the greedy tree. But I feel like this message is a lot more than the Four of Pentacles. So it speaks its own language, and I'm going to stop justifying now. System free, this one. The next one I consider system free is my Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. Why do I consider it system free? Well, it's a tarot deck. But when I read it, because it's animal, what jumps out to me is the animal medicine. So for me, this is an animal medicine system, not a tarot system. It's rare that I will. It's rare that I don't use these as tarot at all. Not in the traditional sense. Like, again, I won't read for someone else with these because my brain will be looking at it and I see something way different than, say, the Eight of Cups in this. This is Eight of Shapeshifters, Eight of Water, Eight of Cups, working for the greater good. You know what I mean? Like, that's its own description. For me, the Eight of Cups is, I'm done with this shit. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? So this one is its own system. Beautiful. I love it. I have the first edition. but I use the current one because the cardstock is sturdier and I don't care if it gets mangled, and honestly it's really holding up. It's holding up really well. The next one, so let's dip into some indie decks. Tarot of the Crone, for me, is its own system. Tarot of the Crone by Ellen Lorenzi Prince. I think this, on her website, it says that this one, a reprint is in the works for this one. This one is so primitive, so primal. This is so base chakra that, honestly, I was able to read it right out of the box. Right out of the box, people. And I'm not even sure, like, I don't even pay attention to the titles most of the time. It's the images I'm able to read. Anyway, so this has its own system, its own language. And for me, again, very primal, very base chakra, very... I love this deck. Again, it blew my mind that I was able to read it right out of the box. Like, I didn't even look at the workbook yet. Like the little guidebook or the workbook. Hang on. I have a little slippery situation going on here. And those of you who know me as a deck modifier, look, haven't even edged this one yet. The next one I consider to be its own animal is her Goddess Tarot. Dark Goddess Tarot. This one is coming out mass market this fall. I think Schiffer's doing this one. Dark Goddess Tarot, Ellen Lorenzi Prince. And that's because here the focus is not, like, the titles are there. The titles are there. But to me, it's the Dark Goddess that comes forward in the reading. And honestly, this too could be completely borderless and just images. Okay, no, it can't be because I don't know all these goddesses. But you know what I mean? Like, I find that I don't even look at the tarot meanings at the top. The tarot keys at the top at all. The next one that to me is systemless. And this is the last of my indie decks, I think so. Falarcos. Where's the box? Falarcos by Carmen Sorrenti. Falarcos. I've seen this one where people have trimmed the borders. It's beautiful. But I'm afraid to trim the borders on them. I'm afraid I'm going to make a mingus because I'm so out of practice from modifying decks. It's months since I've, actually done a trim. I've done edging, but I'm afraid. I'd have to, if I could get a second one in a trade, then I'll modify that one. But I'm afraid to ruin this one. Look at these backs. This deck. This is the Fool. Is that the Fool? Yeah. This is the Fool. You see already. So this deck has its own language, its own imagery. It does not follow any system as far as I'm concerned. For me, it doesn't follow any system. It has elements it has elements of it. But there's more to it than those elements from different systems. I love this deck. I love this deck. I need to spend time with this deck. Next one. And now the rest of them are all mass market. Except for one. One is like... the images are free online. I'll start with that one. So this is the Greenwood. This is the Greenwood. Images are available online, public domain. Someone who loves me sent me a copy nicely, properly rendered. and printed from Make Playing Cards. This is its own complete system on its own. And I love it, love it, love it, love it. You see, there's a bit of a theme for the kind of decks I like to read for myself are very other realm like. I love these decks. I love for myself. I love tarot decks that are that explore lower, middle, and upper world. That's my my personal practice is really that's a huge part of my spiritual practice, journeying to different worlds, and you know, walking between worlds is basically what I've always done since I was a child. It's just that, you know, didn't have a word for it, didn't have a way of expressing it. But this, the Greenwood Tarot, you could find Cheska Potter. Do a Google, Cheska Potter, Cheska Potter. Her art is available for free on the internet, and you could print up your own on Make Playing Cards or GameCraft or whatever your platform is. The rest are mass market. So I can't talk about the Greenwood without talking about the wildwood. This wildwood was given to me by the lovely Lisa at Supportive Tarot, and I love it. When I got it, I used it so much that I actually cracked some cards. So there's scotch tape on some of the cards holding them together. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is this is a descendant of the Greenwood Tarot. John Matthews was involved in this one as well. This art, though, is by Will Worthington instead of Cheska Potter. Oh my God, Cheska Potter. Basically, it's the Greenwood Tarot. It's been, you know, it's a copy. It's kind of like the original Mythic Tarot and the new Mythic Tarot. Kind of has a bit of, except this one was well executed because Will Worthington, he's an excellent artist. So to me, the Wildwood. The next system-free tarot, and this, I don't know, this might surprise some people, and you're probably all screaming, well, no, of course it's Rider-Waite. To me, it is not. To me, this is a completely different system, and that is Tarot the Hidden Realm. Some cards, I said, yeah, you know, you can contrive. You can make some cards for sure fit the meanings. But it goes beyond that. When I throw down these cards, I'm not doing a tarot reading. It's a completely different. It's a visitation. So that's why I don't consider these to be. That's why for me these are system free. I could, like, you know, slice the titles off the bottom, and they would still tell me the same story they tell me when I see them. This is, again, completely. Well, look. If I take the title away from this, can you tell what card this is from Rider-Waite? No. So. Okay, see, now I'm slipping into justification. Sorry. Another one that's its own system free is the Raven Prophecy Tarot. This too. You know, this is a deck that you can, like we say in Italian, tranquillamente, you can take the borders off this one and you could still read the images. A lot of people have done it. This is a fantastic deck. I love this especially for spirit messages, checking on my magical work. This is an incredible deck, and it is so clear. I love the image. When you see an image like this on a black background, yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, sorry, here. Next one I consider to be system free, and you may disagree, don't care. To me it's system free. Osho Zen. This is this I find I've had this. I've been reading Osho Zen, and I never considered it a tarot deck, to the point where I don't even know. I don't even know if I recognize all the symbols for that correspond to tarot. I don't think I do. Like if you were to do like a test, if you were to test me and say, quick, what's this symbol? Okay, that's pentacles, the triangle pointing up, not sure. You know what I mean? Like it's, and that's, you know, these have numbers, so this is the 10 of water, 10 of cups. But the image is, so to me, Osho Zen is its own thing. I read these strictly energetically and from the images, and love it. The next, we're almost there, people. We're almost there. Oops, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a moment here with running out of space. And I'm shedding, so. The next one, oh, this is the second to last one. Look, we're almost there, because I sped up a little bit. Mariele. Mine is the first edition that I trimmed all the borders off, and the only thing I did different for mine was the majors. I didn't have to label. I know what the majors, I recognize the majors. The minors, I put the number in one corner, and I put the alchemical symbol for the element in the other corner. Because I read this as an elemental deck, and because I read it from an elemental point of view, to me this has no system. This is its own, like this is not a Rider-Waite or I remember Sacred Seed describing that this is a Marseille deck. No, to me it's not. To me it's a completely, it's its own thing. This is its own thing. This is a very, again, a very root chakra kind of deck for me. Love it. Very much. This is very much, this is an all-rounder. Like this is not what, I don't view this as, oh, this is one I would use only for like, you know, higher functioning kind of stuff. No, this is a excellent all-rounder. This is perfect for reading on mundane, arcane, sacred, and profane. So yeah. And the last hashtag system free tarot in my collection, and literally people, with this video I probably showed you almost every deck I own, minus my Rider-Waite decks, and which aren't that many. But yeah, I think I've shown you with this video. This is almost my entire collection. This is my inner child cards that I got. I got these secondhand at I got these at a secondhand bookstore, and they were in really rough shape, so I backed them and I trimmed just the outer white thin border. These are definitely their own system. I see it says 9 of Swords, and I see the 9 of Swords here, but to me it's telling a different story. It's not Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's not Thoth, and it's not, no. This is its own thing. This taps into our inner child. This is a very heart chakra deck. I love it. It took a long time to get rid of that really strong polyurethane smell, though. Months. Took months, because that's a lot of contact paper, right? So these cards are massive. Look, you know what I mean? I took the outer borders off in case you're wondering, because in case you have these and you're wanting to back them. I first glued on the contact paper, and then I cut the little white micro border off, and that way I got a nice clean edge with the contact paper, because what no one ever talks about in deck modding videos is that when you back a tarot deck, if you don't trim some of that, you know, the edge of the card off, you have all this, like, it's the contact paper sticks out from the card a little bit, because it's impossible to get a perfect cut unless you're using an X-Acto knife, and you're using an X-Acto knife and a ruler. You still run the risk of you know, slipping and slicing a card. Just saying. So I'm really happy the way this one turned out, because it had a little micro border for me to follow, to remove. So you see, this is Four of Wands. So beautiful. Alright, so this is it, my friends. Hashtag System Free Tarot VR to Natalia at Ouroboros. And most of my tarot collection. Alright, folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm wishing you all a beautiful day.